If you are a student and on a really tight budget, then stop scrolling. This tablet right here might be the only one you need in 2025. What if I told you this tablet is powerful enough to get your basic tasks done, and also it excels in the most important aspect, which is for taking notes, as the stylus is quite responsive enough. The Redmi Pad 2 paired up with the Redmi Smart Pen is the only combo that you need to take notes, attend classes, read through your books and PDFs, and well, it's also good for those occasional Netflix binges. So don't miss this video, as this might be the best budget tablet for students in 2025. My name is ENQUIRIES and I create videos on productivity, tech, and life. I'll be honest, the Redmi Pad 2 really surprised me. It's way better than what I expected at this price. But also, it has a few issues that you should absolutely know before buying. But first, let's unbox this tablet and see what exactly we are working with. So out of the box, we get the tablet itself, the usual charging cable, and yes, the power adapter. That's already a win because we know certain brands actually still charges you for giving you a charger. You know who. However, if you're thinking about taking notes on this tablet, you will need to buy the Redmi Smart Pen separately, as it's not included in the box, so keep that in mind while budgeting. I'll be sharing the price at the end, but before that, let's talk about the tablet itself. Now, holding the tablet for the first time, it feels really light. It weighs about 5-10 grams approx, which makes it really easy to carry around all day, thus making it perfect for college students, especially if you're walking around the campus or constantly on the move. The build doesn't feel ultra premium, but honestly, it doesn't feel cheap either. Just a clean, practical design. On the top, we have got the speaker grills and the power button. On the right, the volume rockers and a micro SD card plus SIM card slot. That's right, this one supports cellular connectivity. So if you wanted to use mobile data on the go, that is possible. At the bottom, we got another set of speakers, USB Type-C port of course, and yes, a headphone jack. In 2025, that's actually rare and something I really appreciate. In a way, it will help you save more as you don't have to buy the wireless earbuds separately. So physically, this tablet covers a lot of student basics. Portable, practical, and well thought out. But what about the display? Because let's be honest, that's what you will be staring at for hours. But before that, speaking of hours, it features a 9000 mAh battery, and this is where it completely kills it. I consistently got over 8 to 9 hours of screen on time, even when mixing video playback, browsing, and some light gaming. It's honestly one of the strongest points of this tablet. You can go a full day of classes, entertainment, and note-taking without needing to carry a charger. And also, the idle time battery management was great on this device. Now, coming back to the display, the Redmi Pad 2 features an 11-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 1600 by 2560 pixels. It's a 16:10 aspect ratio, which gives you more usable vertical space. That's something you'll appreciate while reading long PDFs or scrolling through notes. The pixel density is around 274 ppi, and for this price, that's excellent. Text looks sharp, images are crisp, and you're not going to struggle reading for long hours. But what really caught me off guard was the 90Hz refresh rate. Everything feels smoother. Scrolling through lecture slides, switching between apps, or even browsing social media during a study break. This is the kind of thing you can only notice when you go back to a regular 60Hz screen, and suddenly everything feels slow and laggy. And here's the crazy part, even the brand new iPad 11 Gen still sticks with a 60Hz panel, and that costs more than twice the price of the Redmi Pad 2. Brightness was another area where I expected Redmi to cut corners, but oops, it has nailed this aspect as well. The screen goes up to 600 nits of peak brightness, which means you won't be facing any issues when you are working in a well-lit room or near a window perhaps. Outdoor usage is passable too. It's not AMOLED of course, cause we don't really expect that in this price range, but for students who use their tablets indoors 90% of the time, this display is very good. When it comes to media, this tablet nails the basics. You get stereo speakers, which are decently loud, and again, that headphone jack makes a big difference. The speaker output definitely lacks the warmth that I look for, but for casual music listening, watching videos, and voice calls, it just gets the job done. You will be able to binge watch your favorite content quite nicely here. And also, if you're finding this helpful, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, and I promise to keep bringing you more such videos. Now, before I tell you about the Redmi Smart Pen, trust me, that section is coming. But first, we need to address one area where this tablet might test your patience. Performance, as this is one such area where the Redmi Pad 2 kind of falls short. Inside, it's powered by the MediaTek Helio G100 Ultra chipset, paired with either 4, 6, or 8 gigs of RAM depending on which variant you get. Storage-wise, you can go up to 128 or 256 gigs, and yes, you can expand it via the micro SD card, as we have external storage support. These are the benchmarks of the Redmi Pad 2 on Geekbench. Here's the truth, it's not a fast tablet. For basic tasks like watching videos, going through your notes, or browsing the web, it's totally fine. But if you're planning on using heavy apps or switching between multiple tasks rapidly, this tablet will slow down massively. Apps often take a while to load, the UI isn't always responsive, and sometimes even simple things like rotating the screen can take a second longer than you'd expect. Like here, I was literally struggling to get the screen orientation right. And if you want to play games occasionally, it is possible, but only on medium settings. I tried Aspal, BGMI, and a few others. It runs, but after after a while, the device will start heating up and the frame rates often take a huge dip. If you're a serious gamer, this tablet isn't your go-to device, of course, but if you're just looking to unwind after a class with a round or two, it is serviceable for that. And now the software. Well, it runs on HyperOS 2, which is Xiaomi's custom skin based on Android 15. And if you have used any Xiaomi phone or tablet before, this will feel familiar. The layout is very iPad inspired. There is no app drawer, so all your apps appear across the multiple home screens. You can change that, of course, by installing a third-party launcher, which I would actually recommend if you want a traditional Android experience. Else, the iPad-like layout is just good to go. The big issue though is optimization. It's not really great. HyperOS on this tablet feels a bit bloated. It's not smooth and it doesn't feel well tuned for the hardware. Animations lag and apps stutter occasionally, as I previously mentioned, and you'll get 2 major Android updates followed by a few security patches, which is decent for a budget tablet. So in terms of that, it will more or less cover you for your entire college life. Now let's take a look at the cameras, as that's definitely important for attending online classes. The Redmi Pad 2 features an 8 megapixel rear camera and a 5 megapixel selfie camera.
So this is how the front camera looks like. It's not the best and we can see a lot of grains and stuff, but for attending meetings and video calls it will just work out. Nothing fancy, just the basics are done right.
Now finally the moment a lot of you have been waiting for. Let's talk about the Redmi Smart Pen. If you're a student and you're looking for a tablet to take handwritten notes, annotate PDFs or maybe sketch diagrams, this pen could actually make or break your decision. So what's it actually like? Well, surprisingly, it's quite good. Writing felt more or less smooth, and for note taking that is the key. It doesn't feel like your words are chasing your hand. The pressure sensitivity is fine, not amazing, but enough to vary your strokes if you press harder or lighter. Palm rejection works most of the time, so you can rest your hand while writing without triggering random inputs. And this one also depends on the note-taking app that you're using. The default Xiaomi Notes app isn't that great, so I recommend that you check out other third-party note-taking apps. I tested it out with apps like Nebo, Notewise and Flexil, and the experience was genuinely nice. These apps are much more optimized and will give you a better experience overall. And also you will be able to manage your notes and PDFs by creating different folders and stuff like that. We'll make it very convenient for you to manage your notes that way. You won't face any major issues for basic note-taking and stuff like that, but for digital art and illustrations, not the best. It lacks accuracy and precision needed for detailed sketches, but again, this is a student tablet, not a creative pros workstation. So you would be good to go for taking your class notes and annotating PDFs. You might face a tiny bit latency here and there, especially during long writing sessions, but for quick note-taking, lecture scribbles or marking up study materials, it's actually more than capable. And also you might be wondering, what if you bought any cheap third-party stylus? Well, I have this universal stylus over here that I found for 1000 rupees on Amazon, and the writing feels crap using this on the tablet, so I won't really recommend doing that because it feels very stuttery, not really the smoothest experience. Hence I would really recommend that you keep a budget for getting the official Redmi Smart Pen. It's miles ahead in terms of generic styluses. And speaking of the budget, here's a screenshot of its current price on Amazon India as well as on Amazon US, and also here's a screenshot of the current pricing of the Redmi Smart Pen, and this one is fairly priced, I have to say. So we have covered a lot, but what's the verdict? Is the Redmi Pad 2 the best budget tablet for students? If you are a student and looking for a tablet to read textbooks, take notes, stream lectures and get basic work done, and also if your budget is quite limited, then yes, the Redmi Pad 2 is probably the best value for money tablet that you can buy in 2025. You get a solid display, excellent battery life and a surprisingly good stylus experience for this price. The software isn't perfect and the performance isn't amazing either, but for studying, writing notes and light media consumption, this tablet makes a lot of sense. So if you want a no-fuss tablet for your classes, then this is the one that you should definitely get. But if you have a bit more to spend and want something snappier with better performance, then you might want to check out my comparison between the Xiaomi Pad 7 and the Lenovo IdeaTab Pro. Click on this video over here and I have compared the two tablets in more details. Else you can click here to check out the best note-taking apps for Android. See you on either side.